All right, we're back. It was a diaper change, but he's probably still hungry. All right, recap the East. Finished that up with the last update. Breezebows is Aztec for life. I think they're the real thing. I think they're going to go pretty far, and I think they have a good shot in the playoffs. Purple Ruse and Papa Jilk, I think they're both competing for that license plate holder in the East. All right, moving on to the West. Let's start with the Shirleys. I should have this queued beforehand. There they are. Okay, so this is an interesting story with the Shirleys. We got a team that's 4-1. Only other one of the team is 4-1 in the whole league. They're on top of the East. They've got the West. They got a 1-game lead in the West. Pretty good showing their first 4 games. They had a really big win their first week against Scott Jilk, former champions. And then they dropped a bad loss last week. What did that do to them? In the true rankings, that dropped them to number 11. Why? Big things, points 4. So 56 points last week really, really hurt the Shirleys. They need a big week this week to recover from that. This could be a sign that maybe they're on the downfall, or maybe it's something that was just a little blimp and they're going to stay on top. But anyways, big week for the Shirleys this week as they play Bills. All right, moving on. Next up is John's Tigers. You drop this, bud. You want this back? You want this back? You okay? It's okay. It's okay. All right. So John's Tigers. Here's a team that's 3-2. Which in the East would put them probably near the top of the maybe the first place in the division. They won a big one, lost one, won a huge one, 154 points over BK, then lost one, then won one. The interesting about this team, number 1 true rankings. So that means that this is they got it all together. Points 4, killing at points 4. Only one other team has more points 4. Great record, 3-2. Not the best, but still pretty good. Breakdown, most weeks they would beat other teams. And even the weeks they lose, they're still doing pretty well. And then the coach, they're not leaving a lot of points on the bench. So I'm saying John's Tigers, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the championship. I know it's halfway through the season, it's early, but they've got a good chemistry going. Next up we got BK. I think BK's recent claim to fame is that big win, 121 points over 56 in the upset against the Shirleys. Right? What do you think about that? Oh, yeah. No, he was a big fan of that one. So, lost one, won big, lost huge, an 89-point loss to 154 Jaws Tigers. That hurt. And then after that, they're on a 2-game winning streak. Where is BK overall? Second place, true rankings. Pretty good record, pretty good points for. Not the best, but pretty good. I mean, it's definitely competitive. Breakdown's pretty good. Most weeks that they lose, they would not have lost against most other teams. And then coach. Best coach. So the worry here is that maybe all their players are just the ones they have in, or maybe they're making great game time decisions. Either way, it's good, strong indications of a manager. So those are the, let's say, BK and John's Tigers. Pretty good. Now let's go to Got Jilk. Got Jilk, who is returning champion. So kind of like the Denver Broncos right now. Lost to the Chargers. Hey, John, that's for you. So 3-2 team. They dropped the first 2. Maybe they were just cocky from winning last year. Dropped the first 2, but then they won 3 straight. So 0-2 to 3-2, good turnaround. Where do they play out? Pretty near the middle of the pack. They're about 6th in the true rankings. The problem is their points for and the breakdown not great. So points for not scoring a lot, and breakdown most weeks they lost, they probably would have lost to a lot of other teams as well. So I think they're definitely got a strong playoff contender, but we'll see how far they go beyond that unless they start scoring points. Oh, I know. Don't worry. They'll make the playoffs. Okay, moving on. We got Jared's Jellyfish. So Jared's Jellyfish. What a story with this team. 1-4. So in the West, fortunately, they're not the only team that's 1-4 in the West. Kind of a weaker division with 2 1-4 teams. They got a good win against the replacements. Problem is that that's the only other team that has 1-4. So kind of like you're beating the bottom of the barrel there. It would have been nice to see them get a big win against one of the higher teams. But they're putting up really, really low points. So where do they play out true? Last place true. So I know it's sad. Somebody has to play that role. Not a lot of points for, not a lot of breakdown. If most weeks they lost, they would have lost to every other team. And then coach, they're leaving a lot of points on the bench. It's hard. So Jared's Jellyfish, not looking good. Now let's go to replacements. There's still hope. Don't get me wrong. That's why I'm doing halfway through the season. there's still hope. So far, first half of the season not good. The beautiful thing about the division series though, they're only one game out of a playoff spot. Well, 2 games out of a playoff spot. So they win 2. Somebody like Godzilla, where BK drops 2 games. Boom! All of a sudden, these teams are back in. So that's where I really, really like this division method. So 6 games left. There's no team that's out of it. Let's get the replacements. They won their first game. Beat BK. Good win. So that's a good win against a good, solid team. I like to see that. But then they dropped 4 straight. 4 straight. They've only gone over 100 points once, and it was barely in that 4 straight loss. So good start, but now they're on a 4-game losing streak. Where do they play out overall? 3rd from the bottom of the true. Same story as all the other teams that are at the bottom. Not a lot of points for. The breakdown they'd lose to most teams. And then their coach, they're leaving a lot of points on the bench, which is hard. It's hard, I know. So my predictions in the West, and again, it's only halfway through, but in the West, we got saying Shirley's are not the real thing. I know they're top right now, but I'm concerned about them after the last loss. John's Tigers, BK. I think these guys are the real thing. I think John's Tigers, BK is going to go far and make it deep into the playoffs. And then right now, Jersey Jellyfish replacements. I think they're competing for a license plate holder, but we'll see. All right, he is going to chew my finger off if I don't get him fed. So we'll take a break and then we'll do the North on the next update. Give me a shout.